the particular area of concern. I'm getting some new damage reports. We'll let those continue to clear the wire, and also we're trying again to get in touch with emergency management in Dyer County, but we understand they're incredibly busy in Dyer County right now. There's been quite a bit of damage there. There's been at least one fatality and several injuries, but we will update that situation. Well, of course, we have an Action News 5 crew headed that way too. We'll update you as soon as possible. Tim, you're seeing something.
I'm not ready to call this rotation by any stretch, but by seeing these very bright greens lined up through here, what we may possibly be seeing, at least along the Fayette County and the Haywood County and the Madison County line. Well, actually what I'm looking at there is maybe the potential for some straight line winds. Those are some very strong winds through here. We're looking at 46 miles an hour through here, 58 miles an hour, right along the Haywood and Madison County border. So at the very least ahead of this, we're seeing some very strong winds out ahead of this particular storm. I'll go back to the live.
Anything 58 miles per hour or higher is considered to be severe.
And here back, in fact, as we look back a little bit further back, Dave, as a matter of fact, that may be part of the damage report when some people may see some damage. It may not necessarily be tornadic. It may be straight line winds, but in this case, with this tornado warning, as we look for these very strong signatures through here. In fact, we look for some shear markers to see if we see any rotation in this area through here. Don't necessarily see that at the moment. As we go back to that product, but again, we are seeing some very strong winds, as you mentioned, at 58 miles an hour. That is above the threshold for very severe weather. Backing out just a little bit further to give you a look at Madison County, folks, right now, fairly quiet other than southern and southeastern Madison County. That's going to be right along the Chester County border. They're seeing some shower activity, but again, the bulk of it right now over western and southwestern Haywood County, and also some very heavy rain and possibly still some hail now over eastern Tipton County, but it looks like a lot of hail now through central, from west central all the way over to east central Haywood County, so a very strong thunderstorm, again with that potential for a tornado in there. In fact, we'll give you an update on that, moving it, we'll zoom in a little bit closer, show you Madison County and parts of Chester County as we do another storm track moving off to the east at about 70 miles an hour. Here's the storm right here, right along Interstate 40. We're going to have to stretch this out this way just a little bit further, and here's what we're seeing right now. Again, Madison Hall about 11:41, Denmark 11:36, Sunny Hill any moment now as the heavy rain is just about to come on there, as Dave mentioned, right there near the Brownsville exit off of Interstate 40. And it looks like you have some storm damage.
Yeah, I've got some updated reports here. There are many of them. I won't run over all of them. There are many reports of hail on here, but also much worse than that. Apparently, Manila, Arkansas has been hit by a tornado. We heard from our own Lamar Davis that he's in the area and he saw a house which was moved a long way from its foundation, and he has been told that in another part of town the damage was much worse. He was on his way to that when we last heard from him a few moments ago, but apparently there has been extensive damage to some homes on the north side of Manila, Arkansas. Manila, Arkansas is in the northwest part of Mississippi County. It's over to the west-southwest of Blytheville, Arkansas. That's the area we're talking about. Tornado reported on the ground. Again, these are reports from earlier this evening. A tornado was reported on the ground at one point near Highway Double T, near the Arkansas state line in Dunklin County, Missouri. Tornado damage we've been telling about countywide in Dyer County. We have a late updated report on that. Findlay in Dyer County. Apparently there's been quite a bit of damage in that community too, in addition to that being reported in Dyersburg. In Yorkville, Gibson County EMA reported that a tornado was on the ground south Yorkville at Highway 105. In Tipton County, now this is not tornado damage, but wind damage is being reported in Tipton County. Power lines blown down and high winds county-wide in Tipton County, according to the Tipton County EMA. This report in just moments ago. In Covington, it was a spotter reported a tornado on the ground at Pryor Road. This has now been about a half hour ago. That's probably the reason that the tornado warning was extended on into Haywood and Madison counties, because that's a very, very fast-moving storm. And the updated report from Dyersburg, as we have been telling you here on Action News 5 for quite some time now, one fatality confirmed, several injuries, and lots of damage reported by Dyersburg police. Confirmed tornado in Henry County near Paris at Paris Landing. Those are the latest reports that are into us. Again, Dyer County and Dyersburg appear to be the heaviest hit all around. Tim?
Dave, I'd like to go to the Viper mode of pinpoint Doppler radar, and what I've found now along the Haywood and Madison County line, we're seeing what are called shear markers, which shows the potential for rotation, but what I'm seeing now also is a little bit of a notch developing here right along the county line, right around Mercer, which would be indicative of some very strong rotation. As we go back to pinpoint Doppler radar mode, we're going to look at what's called storm relative velocity, and indeed we do see a little bit of a couplet right here, this red against this green. And again, it's moving off to the east at about 70 miles an hour, so what I'm going to do is actually track from that area where we see that couplet right in here. I tell you what, we're going to have to go out of that. Let's go to the Viper mode of pinpoint Doppler radar for the moment. Let's go to the Viper mode. Thank you very much. And what we're seeing on the time lapse here is it's moving very quickly right through here. This is the area of concern. Going to back it out just a little bit. This is going to be the Mercer area.
Tim, let me point out, too, in the Viper mode, this runs a couple of minutes behind our live mode, and so that thing is going to be approaching Bemis, and just to the south of Bemis, just in the next few minutes, the area where we're getting the strongest indication of rotation. As I said just a few moments ago, Bemis, very, very hard hit. I went through and looked at that damage about a week after the tornado hit there a couple of years ago, and it was pretty amazing. What we were seeing, just the devastation and the way houses had been peeled apart in some cases. So you folks around the Bemis area, I want you to keep in mind that this system is headed rapidly for you. It's moving to the east at about 70 miles per hour. In
fact, it may split near Bemis and just south of Interstate 40 at the current path that it looks like it might be taking if we look at the couplet right through here. So we can actually zoom in a little bit closer into the county, Dave.
Well, have to be careful, you folks in Jackson, Tennessee, of course, south of Interstate 40, downtown Jackson is located to the south of Interstate 40. Bemis sort of runs together with Jackson along Highway 45. They almost blend in together as one, but a very, very dangerous situation for you folks in Madison County, in the Bemis and Jackson areas over the next few minutes. We'll keep a close eye on that for you, but I also want to talk to Police Chief Jackie Hill, I believe we have on the phone, of Manila, Arkansas. Chief, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Can you